A fantasy fun doodle sequence using the Compact Hotplate and then the Stylus Pro later on. White block to drag out colours that have been put on with the blocks directly, and then a piece of tissue to fade out into the surround. Tissue is a great tool. Back to the direct application with the blocks, and in doodling there's obviously no right and wrong because you're doodling. You can use the heated tools, you can use the Stylus Pro like I am here, you can use the iron, you can use anything really, brushes, whatever you want. Back to a piece of tissue, and I'm just pulling out a pathway because it gives depth. The scrapey wax mover tools move wax, and because I'm doodling I can change anything, so over to a rubber stamp now. This is all happening at 3 times real speed, just so that we can get through it a bit more quickly. Using the legs, the upside down stamp now, it looks a bit like the heart of a flower to me. Could be quite an interesting thing on a bigger piece of work. When you're doodling, there is no right and wrong. It's just a case of play and notice what you did. And when you like it, keep it, and when you don't, you can change it. I quite like using this white block sponge, but I also like wiping colour off, and the cleaner the tissue, the cleaner the card underneath. Putting colour on in itself is quite a therapeutic sort of action, and I enjoy just melting wax colour. Over to a torn card now, and I'm going to go to double speed rather than 3 times the speed, which is what we were going at. And just dabbing that white block around the torn card effects to calm the image down a bit, to focus the eye in the middle. And it wasn't until now, at this point, that I've decided, okay, I'm going to put some towers in there to give a focus subject. I could have put trees, I could have put a fence, I could just have done birds, and if I was more careful with drawing I could have put other ideas into that space. But the castle city thing is quite easy because they're just upright lines, and then these horizontal lines, which are parallel to the bottom of the card, are just sort of giving them somewhere to sit. And again, the pathway pulls the viewer into the image. You can see the wax movers actually do exactly that. They move colour around, but what they tend to do is just scrape the wax off the backing card, off the actual painting card, leaving white areas. And what this means is that there's an opportunity for developing. So that's the end of stage 1 done on the Hotplate, the Compact Hotplate. Now I'm using the Stylus Pro and working into those white areas to boost the colour, to give it a bit of a kick, to bring it more to life. I love this sort of colouring over because it's very relaxing. You can do it sitting down, listening to music, putting colour inside. And you can be very careful with the drawing tip. It's a lovely tool. Cleaning with a piece of tissue that I'm holding in my hand, and then just correcting that line. Filling in the castly structures. Stronger colour. Darker colour, more shaded, lighter colour, more lit. So you can vary. And here I'm using the block direct. It's actually a cold block, and I'm just craning it on in order to add some colour to that pathway. It's a simple way of bringing colour into an image. Getting darker as I get closer to the bottom of the picture, finishing off with a bit of blue. And then to smear and rub these colours together, you can use your finger if you want. Alternatively, you can use the stylus to overcolour them. But here I'm using the scribing tool and scratching away. What was going to be a bird has turned into a flower. So I'm just developing a set of little flowers up there. Back on the path, and in fact I am using the stylus to put in some stronger colour. Certainly in the foreground area where when things are closer to you they tend to be stronger. So here's the finished image. And I use the waxes, the Stylus Pro, to create all that colour. The flower worked out quite well, different than having a bird there. Path gives depth, nice texture, and the castles sit in the centre, flowers along the pathway. It's a lot of fun, and I used the blocks in the box this time and found that quite easy. Compact Hotplate and caustic art, great fun. moving from this initial result on the hot plate through to this one elaborated with the Stylus Pro. So from this to this. Thanks for watching. I'm bouncing off now. Bye bye.